What's really exciting about desperate times is that we all have a chance to wake up.
Yes.
We all have a chance to be reminded. I think so many times we're throwing out answers and nobody's really remembered what the question is. And now everybody's remembered, oh yeah, I am a needy person. I forgot how needy I am.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And maybe it takes physical problems, or maybe it takes this financial crisis to be reminded that there's an economy of grace that never goes into recession, you know? Mm-hmm. Maybe it takes the hard times, like in Iowa, or North Dakota, that's near where we live. It's floods, and it reminds me of what's great about stuff that's really tangible that people are going through right now, that I'm going through. Floods, hurricanes, debt, wars, is that it speaks, I think, volumes on something that maybe be a little more theoretical or less tangible, the condition of our hearts. Yeah, there's floods coming over the walls of the levees, but at the same time, like David the psalmist says, these waters, they're rising up, Lord, they're even to my soul.
Yeah.
And to be reminded of that, I think, is really important. And I don't have the answer for anybody in that situation. Yeah. Why are there 6,000 kids dying today for some stupid reason in Africa?
Yeah.
I don't have the answer, but I know that there's hope, and I know there is a plan. And I can question, and that's fine. And I'm angry about stuff, and that's okay too, I think, because I don't understand why my king would let the world be in this condition it is in. But out of that tension, I think there's a great place for growth personally, and there's a great place for art to come to. Because I think what's great about songs, for at least in my life, everybody could tell me things over and over and over again, but sometimes it took a song to really break me, and that's when I came to tears, and that was like, you know, it is going to be okay, or maybe it's not going to be okay, but that's not what matters. What matters is that there's a kingdom coming. But sometimes it takes a song to break through personally. Not that life should be all about just emotion, but sometimes, man, God gives us a song. God gives us songs, and that makes me really excited to be able to be a songwriter today. You know, when the hurricane hit a few years ago, I started thinking about, man, what do I got that's worth, you know, what if everything I have is taken away? What if, you know, you got homes, you got people you love, you got, you know, here's a career in rock and roll, which is absolutely an amazing gift from the King of the universe. But what am I putting my hope in? I hope I'm not putting my hope in this rock music. I hope I'm not putting my hope in some religious subculture or another person. You know, and asking ourselves those questions before, and suddenly we ended up with this album called Daylight Is Coming. That's just almost a concept album on hope.
Exactly. So pertinent for these days.
Yeah, because it's this American dream. You know, San Diego, more than any other place I've ever been. You look at what people have compared to how happy we are. It just doesn't line up. You know, and it's not about just being happy, or, you know, it's not about some. There's plenty of room for sorrow, and there's plenty of, you know, someone that's not sorrowful is really missing the boat. They're not paying attention to what's going on in the world. There's a lot, but in the midst of the sorrow, in the midst of the damage, there's the water's coming over our gates. The enemy is trying to tear down everything that is important to us. But to be able to say in all that, hey, help's on the way. We can look to the east at the first light. Here comes redemption. Daylight's coming. The morning's coming. The sun's going to rise. And whether that means when we're talking about at the end of the world when the sky rips open, or tomorrow, the sun's going to rise. There's nothing more sure than that. And it's either going to be a new day here on this planet, or there's going to be an eternal day. And is that what I'm putting my hope in? Or am I putting my hope in my SUV and this picket fence and this iPod and this plastic paradise we live in? Or is there something bigger than that? Our King's coming to do some stuff. Are we involved in the kind of things he cares about right now? He's come to restore the earth. He's coming to bring hope to the poor. And shouldn't that be what his followers are doing today? Not wait until the end of the world to do it, but man, what if we're involved in that today? Waking people up.